the librarian for University College of Law Library, Osmania University. I have recently joined the library as a librarian, and I hope I'll be interacting with most of you from now onwards. If there are any queries or anything related with the library, you can approach me directly. And on advice of the principal, we have arranged this session on SCC online database because we thought it would hugely, immensely be helpful for the faculty and the students. We have with us Mr. Rajesh Raina, the trainer of SCC online here today, who will be explaining to us how to optimally use the SCC online database. Most of us may be knowing how to use it, but knowing the full features of SCC online would be very, very helpful to us in our studies and our research. So over to you, Mr. Raina. After the session, there'll be a little time for interactions also. So all of you can jot down your questions, and at the end of the session, probably ask Mr. Raina the questions. So over to you, Mr. Raina, now.
Thank you, Achla ma'am, for organizing this event for the benefit of all. And I also thank the management, the principal, and the respected staff of Osmania University Law Department. And students, good morning. My name is Rajesh Raina, and I am the trainer here at SCC Online. Today we'll be discussing, I'll be showing you about the various search features that we have in SCC Online and how you can use them optimally to help your legal research. So let me just share my screen. I'll be just sharing you my screen. Just give me a minute. So Aslam, I'm just kindly confirm whether the screen is visible. Can you just confirm me whether this screen that I'm sharing is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So let me just start with this web page of SCC Online. Now, most of us are maybe not on campus and accessing these databases remotely. So you must be having a remote access software of yours with which you will be able to access. Right. So once you log in, you will get this login menu, which should mention IP login, because that is how you will be able to access it remotely. Once you have this IP login appearing, you'll have to enter your email ID and then proceed with the login now. At any point of time, if there is a new student who has just wants to access it for the first time, he can just click on this register here link at the bottom, enter his email ID and the name, and click on register and login, which is a one-time affair. Once the registration is complete, next time onwards, you simply need to log in with your email ID, right? So that's what I'll do right now, and then click on login now. So this will give me access to the database. I think little lag here. I'll just redo this thing and open the page again. And let me quickly log in. Email ID. And click on login now. Right. So this will proceed further. And maybe just one more time, I need to log in. And then I'll get this menu. Right. This is known as SCC Online Dashboard, which comprises of 3 sections. But before I start with the main menu, let me also talk about the data coverage that we have in SCC Online. We have the Supreme Court of India cases, all cases from 1950 till date, right? So if you see this screen in this data coverage, you can see the first database is Supreme Court of India from 1950 till date. And you will also notice that it is showing one true print over here in this description. So what this true print is all about, we'll talk about it in the later in the session. Then we have Federal Code from 1939 till 1950, and the rest in Federal Code like Madras Weekly Notes, ILR Lahore series, Bombay series are the notes, ILR Patna, etc. are there. Then Privy Council we have from 1872 till 1949, again along with true print. Moore's Indian Appeals from 36 till 72, and Law Weekly from 1914 to 1950. Then we have all the high courts of India, and some landmark judgments from the district courts, not in entirety, you get some of them. Then we have the historical courts, like before independence, we had Ajmer Judicial Commissioners Court, Goa Judicial Commissioners Court, Lahore Court, the Chief, Pepsu High Court, Rangoon High Court, and all that. So you got all those historical courts. Then followed by that, we have the tribunals and all the tribunals and commissions that we have, whether it is APTEL or whether it is NDPS or Armed Force Tribunal or Central Administrative Tribunal, Electricity Regulatory Commission, and Competition Appellate Tribunal, to name a few, ITAT, IPAB, SAB, and all. Then for that, we have a section of Indian statutory law, where the primary and secondary legislations are there. And the primary ones cover your central acts. Then we have the state acts and rules, notifications, circulars, and of course, bills in parliament and constitutional orders. Followed by that, we also have the secondary material where we have entire Constituent Assembly debates, followed by reports of various commissions and committees. Those are available. Then we also have legal articles from leading publishers like SCC and other institutions and universities, leading law universities and other institutions. So all those legal articles are there. Then treaties, bilateral, multilateral that we have with the other nations. Then we have historical trials, entire series of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Maharaja Nanda Kumar, and Sir Roger Casement. Followed by that, the various policy documents of the Government of India, and Tagore Law Lectures, again a full series. You also have subscription to the England, UK English law. So you have law reports from 1965 till date, weekly law reports from 1953 till date, and business law reports from 2007 till date. And of course, we have some other Supreme Court cases from the rest of countries like SAARC, and there are African as well as American like US and Canada, etc. So all these are available to you in your database of SCC, which you have subscription. Now let me just move to the first screen after login, which is known as SCC Online Dashboard, which comprises of 3 sections. Research Plus, this is the section where you will be doing your legal research, of course. And the second section is My Library, which, as the name suggests, is just like your, physical library that you have in your university, the same way you have in SCC an e-library. So you have these topics, and on the basis of each topic, you can click and view a document. Then, of course, there is a section of moot court resources where all the problems which were discussed and the winners and from both appellant and respondent side are also available here. So this will help you in preparing for your moot court competition. And the third section is links, which, as the name suggests, gives us access to other resources. You're tied up with Singapore LawNet, or their Supreme Court cases. And Hein Online USA is again a subscription of leading law review journals from across the globe. And it has all the world constituencies and all. But then I think this subscription is available selectively for each individual, users or clients as such. Then we have SCC Online, the microblogging site. EBC is our parent concern, that is Eastern Book Company. So short-term online courses are available in the EBC learning link, and in EBC web store you get all the details of the publishing that we do, the print material, and online of course will have the information and access to online resources that we have, products that we have. Now let me just start with this My Library section. Over this previous 1.5 years during this pandemic especially, we developed this curated topics. Now this curated topics is basically having these topics like public law, corporate commercial law, intellectual property, arbitration, taxation, etc. So if I select any one particular topic over here, let's say, for example, corporate and commercial law, under that you will get topics like cryptocurrency, e-commerce, aviation, banking, insolvency and bankruptcy, companies law, competition law. So you see all of them are being listed over here in the first column, as you can see. And each topic will have its statutory law, case law, notification, or maybe an article or a bill associated with it. So this has been typically curated by our editorial, right? So instead of doing the research through the My Research or the Research Plus section, that is the blue color tiles that we had in the beginning, and once you get the results, they're all in different databases. So it is kind of, you can say, scattered, but here we have kept it under one topic. So say, for example, in this case, competition law, you see the statutory law, the rules, regulations, notifications, case law, and articles. So when I click on statutory law, it will give me the Principal Act, Competition Act. Followed by that, it will also give me various other acts which are linked to Competition Act or competition law. So we have Companies Act, Section 234(10), Schedule 5, which is linked to Competition Act. Then we have Electricity Acts 23, 61, 61, 62, etc. Followed by that, you have also General Insurance, Insolvency and Bankruptcy, Motor Vehicles Act, Petroleum and Natural Gas, Prasar Bharati, RERA, and Telecom TRAI. So all these are somewhat.
Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Anna. I'm really sorry to disturb you, Mr. Anna ji.
No, tell me.
On my screen, it is showing blank right now. Is it me or is it anyone else as well?
Let's confirm with the rest of the participants. Are you able to view the screen? Kindly confirm.
Yes, we are able to see, sir.
Yeah, we are able to view it clearly.
Thank you. So I think Mohit, you need to again log in.
Sure. I'll reconnect.
Yeah, thanks.
Please continue.
Sure. So once
small doubt. Sorry to be interrupted. On the SSC online website, I'm not able to register like you showed, but a normal trial registration is available, like which will permit me only 4 hours of browsing.
Trial is no. Trial is different. Trial is available for all, one and sundry. I mean, anybody who is not even having a subscription will get access through free trial. But as far as your thing through your university is concerned, it should definitely get registered. And if you are facing any typical error, you can share it with us. Otherwise, one thing is for sure. Once you register, it will give you access. I mean, that's for sure. Otherwise, you will need to tell us the exact error that you are facing or encountering.
I believe after the session, we can request
yes, we can take that.
To share her screen and then we can troubleshoot the issue.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So let's proceed further. In this statutory law, I showed you the different sections, acts also incorporated. Then in rules and regulations, again, you'll find Competition Commission of India and as well as the Appellate Tribunal rules and regulations. Similarly, we go to the notifications and case laws. Now, in case laws, you will obviously, that in competition law, there are lot of cases, but here you will find only 15 or maybe 20 odd maximum. So these are handpicked by our editorial, right? Already curated, handpicked, the most relevant or important ones are kept here. So I typically click on one, and on the second column, the adjacent column, I get to see the text of the judgment. As you can see in this, it's showing before Justice A.K. Sikri and Justice Ashok Bhushan. Justice Ashok Bhushan's is in normal font, whereas in Justice A.K. Sikri's is in bold, which denotes or indicates that the Justice A.K. Sikri is the author of this judgment, right? And this is the browse curated topics option under my library. We have few more options here, but we'll show you them in the later course of this demonstration. So let's move to this research plus section where you will be doing your typical legal research, right? So we have first one, which is like a search engine in it says the search engine in SCC Online word search. Typically, you must have also done your research at times through, say, Google search engine or any other, free search engine, wherein you will have to key in all and each and every minute description to get get some relevant results or to get some results. So we need to key in everything. Say, for example, I'm looking for latest judgment. So I'm keying in it. Latest judgment from Supreme Court of India, right? I want on say trade marks. So I have keyed in, I have clicked on the start search. Now I'll get to see the results. And now the screen that will appear now will be divided into 3 sections. The first one will show me the all results, which is 166. 136 judgments and some bills and parliament articles, etc., which I talk about the trademarks. Then I had asked for Supreme Court of India. So though it's showing me Calcutta High Court, then Delhi High Court, and then Delhi High Court, right? Let's do a filtering, which is available in SCC Online. On the left-hand panel, where we have these judgments, you just expand it. You find the what you call the breakup. Then you click on this only button adjacent to Supreme Court, which was there, and it typically now filters only the Supreme Court judgments in front of me. From here, I'll do one sorting also. So in the second column, there's a sort by option. I go click on that and click on chronological latest first. There are 4 or 5 options over here. And I'll select the latest first in this case. Now it will now arrange and give me the latest one, which is of 24th of April 2017. So we'll just keep this in mind. The latest one was 2017 judgment, and the total number was 166. Now let's redo this query. We'll go to the word search, and instead of the entire sentence, what we'll do is we'll focus on the main law point or the keyword, that is trademarks, right? So this is how you should do your search, perform your search in SCC. You need to focus only on the keywords, and you will see a huge difference from 160 odd. It's now 21,282. So typically what is happening here is that the more you are keying in, the lesser results you are getting, and whereas you are keying in lesser, you're getting more results, relevant results. And again, if you go to the filtering in the judgments, select Supreme Court, then finally we go by the same method, sort by, and put the latest first on top, and you will see that the latest was 2nd March in 2021. So I was missing on some 3-4 odd years of data itself. So that is important, how to frame a query and perform the research. Similarly, in word search, you will also have queries like a phrase. Sometimes you have to search for, and for that, typically what we do is we put that phrase in. For example, I'm looking for the locus standi of third party. So I'll key in this phrase and also key in the double inverted. I'll put them in double inverted quotes. So what the software will do, it will search for these two as a single word. So that is phrase search. You should always put it in double inverted commas. And then I can perform the further filtering, or you can say search within search if I want. So in this query, I've got 35,000 odd results. Now in this search within search results, what I wanted was that I wanted the locus standi, know that locus standi is third party. So I'll just key in third party again in double inverted commas in the search within search area in the just above the first column and start the search. So it will now further narrow it down. And from here, if I again want to, I have another filter to apply or another step to perform apart from the locus standi third party, and it could be say a void contract. So I'll just again put it in double inverted commas and start the search. This way I can use 6 steps of filters to narrow down my search. And at any point of time, if you find like I want to modify a step, you don't have to, start the search from scratch. You can simply, for example, step 2, I want to modify. I'll just click on this cross button and it will remove that step from here. And then I go back to the search within search, and then I'll just perform the next search. Right. So it will do what? It will start from the second one and give me the results like this. So search within search. This is how you can perform up to 6 levels. Then again, what we also have over here is in the form of Boolean operators. We have certain operators in SCC which will help you in your legal research. These are known as Boolean operators. If you notice, just below this search term, enter search term area, you find these use and, not, or, and near, all capitals between words for Boolean search. So how do they function? Let's take an example. Start with one example where a typical judge court was there in a judgment where he said that I cannot define an elephant, but I do recognize when I see one. Now, the way he interpreted, maybe I'll also key in the same words over here, but it could be slightly different. I cannot define an elephant, but I can recognize when I see one. Something like that he had written. So there could be a slight difference in while I key in, but the meaning would be same. It's like in the results, I might not get what I'm looking for, or maybe I get huge results. Basically, what happens here is that focus again. More you key in, you get lesser results. So I'll do the vice versa. I'll do less keying and more results. So here, what all are typical words or keywords in this entire sentence? One is elephant, because they're talking about this. So I cannot define an elephant, but I do recognize one when I see one. So define is again another important one, and see could be the next one, the other one. So these 3 typical words I have keyed in. Now, if I start the search, it will search for all these 3 words, but not necessarily, making this as a sentence. They will not appear in a sentence rather. So that way I might not get the results which I'm looking for. So to make it, more relevant, I'll key in this near operator in between. So what will this near do? It will search for these 2 correlating words nearby. And if I scroll down a little bit, it shows the Boolean near setting, what it means. It means 10 words range. So whatever I am keying in will be searched sort of in a proximity or within a sentence. Now from here, I'll click on the start search, and you'll see that I am getting the desired results that I was looking for. Right. So even the very first judgment you can see, this Bombay High Court judgment. If I click on this arrow in the third column, go to next highlight, it's mentioned here. So I click and it will straight away jump to that line where these words are appearing. So it says I cannot define an elephant, but I do recognize when I see one. All right. So this is when you are looking for these words within a sentence. They should be appearing or they should be part of a sentence. Similarly, there was a judgment where it was the point of discussion was this whether doctrine of proportionality stands good or the Wednesbury's principle. So it's something like doctrine of proportionality versus Wednesbury's principle. So again, what I'll do is I'll put only the main keyword, that is here doctrine, and then near say proportionality, and then again near Wednesbury. It's appearing, somebody has already searched for this, and let's start the search. And again, they should be part of a sentence, all these three keywords that we have. And you can see this digest note on administrative law, where it's mentioned proportionality and Wednesbury unreasonableness held doctrine of unreasonableness is giving way to doctrine of proportionality. Wednesbury principle versus doctrine of proportionality. So that is the near operator. Now let's move on to other operator, that is not and or. We have a couple of more here, or and not. So how they function. Whenever you have a same meaning words to search for, and either this or that, something like that. Say for example, I'm looking for judgments on cancellation of appointment of the employees who are either temporary, casual, ad hoc, seasonal. So these all different, but though they mean the same thing, but they are interpreted or put in words differently. So what I'll do is I'll just key in cancellation near appointment. Okay. So first step I have done like this, and then I start the search. And then let's move to the results. What we get in the search within search, what we'll key in now is these multiple choices. That is, first is temporary. Second one is casual. Third one is ad hoc. Now, as you see, ad hoc being to be searched as a single word, I'll put it in double inverted commas, right? And in between these multiple choices, what should I say? I should key in or. So what it will do is now, while I'm keying in this like this, but you will also notice that these operators are to be keyed in capital letters. And then you start the search. So software will do what? It will search not only once, but it will search 3-4 times. First, it will search for temporary. Second time, it will search for maybe casual. Third time for ad hoc, and fourth time any of these 2 or 3 combinations like that. So you are not missing on any of these, similar words. Otherwise, if I had keyed in all these 3 without or, still I would have got results, but it would have reduced drastically. Why? Because all of the 3 should be appearing in the same document or this judgment. Those only it will pick, not either of these. So that is how or works. And then we also have one or not operator. Now, at times when you do your legal research, you get a huge result list. And then you typically want, remember that I didn't want this particular topic under in the results. So for example, if I was looking for judgments on compensation, but I don't want the ones on medical negligence. So I'll type not, and after not, what all I'll be keying in will not be part of the results when when it's searched, right? And I can also use multiple NOT operators for keeping out these like land acquisition from the results, or maybe motor accident, right? So something like this I have keyed in, and I'll now get the results without on medical negligence or motor accident or land acquisition. So this is the NOT operator, how it functions. Let's move back to the dashboard by clicking on these 3 lines and move to the last option over here, which is words and phrases. Words and phrases is typical what you call like a dictionary, but all the definitions are picked from the statutory law or from the Indian case law and the Wharton dictionary also. Right. So if I am typing this, say like cyanide, this legal phrase, you will see the definition of this if it's mentioned in this statutory law, and followed by that you'll also find the name of the case law where it has been defined. So in this case, Chandrakant Khaire versus Shantaram, and you'll also find WHART mentioned over here. So Wharton dictionary definition is also incorporated over here. So that those you will get through this words and phrases. Then we also have find by topic. Now find by topic is somewhat similar to word search, but here you don't need to maybe key in the way you do in your word search. Here index is available to you of all the topics, right? In alphabetical order it is. And suppose if you want to access case laws on any particular say topic, like in consumer protection, if I'm going to say goods and services, so I can simply select this and click on go button, and it will give me the digest notes or the head notes on that. Or otherwise, because these are all major topics, under those you have these subtopics, say in this case consumer protection. Similarly, if I am looking for say gratuity, which is falling under labor law or service law, I'll type that over here, and obviously it will pull out the topics for me, whereas it's in labor law as well as the service law, under gratuity and pension gratuity and payment of gratuity. Now, if I want by default, it shows me the digest notes. If I want to see the judgments also, so I can click on the adjacent radio button over here, which is search everywhere. So it will search in the entire databases, including the full text judgments. Let me go back to the dashboard and move to the other option here, which is find by party name. Now here in find by party name, you will find 2 sections. First one is searching by party name, typically where you have either appellant or a respondent with you. And the other one is a name, which is not the actual party name, but a famous name made by the media hyped name. Like you have typical Sabarimala, Triple Talaq, Ayodhya, BMW hit and run, first judge's case, second judge's case. So the moment I key in, say for example, Sabarimala, the moment I keyed in, it gave me a suggestion. Women entry in Sabarimala, yes. I select that, I click on find case, and the software will decode and give me the actual party name over here, along with the citation. So this is how you can search or find the case laws with famous case names. Let's move to the typical one, which is search by party name. In the search by party name, you will click on first you'll have to select the jurisdiction. In case of jurisdiction, if you're not sure about that, then you can select all jurisdiction, right? Now let's click on this Supreme Court. Let's select Supreme Court. I want a judgment on of Supreme Court, and I'm looking for this Golaknath versus state of Punjab. So what I can do is I can enter both the parties' names, and in between I'll not put any V dot or versus, because then it will not give me the results. So we should simply straight away type both the party names and click on find case, and it will give me the typical, citation on the result window at the bottom. Now let me just double click on this citation, and it will open the judgment for me. Now, while I'm seeing the judgment, I can also see in the results, all results, it's showing me 120 digest notes. These are the law points. Now coming to the result list column, it is showing me a couple of labels here. J, which stands for full text of the judgment, 11, which is the quorum strength, 27 to 67 is the date of the judgment, and you have followed by that you have the citation. Now in the second one, it's showing me D, it's displaying D, which means it's a digest note or a law point, and 11 is the quorum strength. And of course, it's also touching the, what you should I say, typically particular act or section, like it's in this case, it's talking about this state, and then followed by that you have the citation. Now in Supreme Court, not the entire judgment is overruled. So you have few of the law points which might be overruled. So how to ensure that I don't quote one in the court, or I want to know which all those law points are which are overruled. So the quickest way is to type overruled in search within search area and start the search. And let's see how it will pull out all the overruled law points for me. So you can see in the second column, there's a typical one more label appearing now extra, which is in the form of a red circle with exclamation, denoting that this particular law point has been overruled. Right now, I'll just open this law point, and here it is mentioned per minority what was the law point, and when I scroll down to the bottom, it's mentioning also the case name or the citation where it has been overruled. So it's been overruled in Kesavananda Bharati case, and again held overruled in Indian Medical Association. Similarly, you will find other overruled law points over here, which are within the scope of Article 368, amending power. Then you have constituent power and sources power to amend source of procedure. So all these Article 368, different cannot abridge part 3, it's moving on like that. And then you'll also find maybe Article 245 here, right? So generally nature and scope. So each and every law point is here mentioned over here, and followed by that you also get to know in which case law this particular law point has been overruled. Now at times I also want to know that where this case has been followed or distinguished upon or relied upon.
Rana sir, your mic is muted.
I don't know how it got muted. Thank you, Mohit. So these particular typical, overruled law points that I have shown you, they are there in the form of this red circle is the label is there, and you will also get to know with which case law it has been overruled. Now I want to know where this case has been referred, or maybe what is the treatment of this case in other judgments. So for that, I'll click on this case reference icon in the third column. And now what happens here is that it will give me the list of all the judgments where it has been referred or cited. And as you can see in this digest note, of course, it's overruled here. And then I go to the other one that is of a 1970 judgment. And here it's also, mentioned or cited Golaknath case. Similarly, I go to another one. Article 141, prospective overruling, and here you can see that this has been impliedly followed, right? So you get the treatment also here, whether it is followed, cited, or relied upon, or distinguished through this case reference icon. Now let me move to the dashboard back again and now show you the other option, that is find by citation. Now in find by citation, you can obviously search through a citation. Now we have kept more than 200 citations over here. You can see the list and browse it. We have tied up regionally with the regional publishers, like we have ILR series for 9-10 states. We also have DRJ for Delhi High Court judgments. Then similarly, we have Maharashtra Law Journal for Maharashtra and MP Law Journal, and down south we have Madras Weekly Notes and that CHN for Calcutta and all. So you get all those citations, and of course we can also search on the basis of citations like AIR. Say, for example, I type in AIR and I key in the year, and automatically software will give me the index of page numbers. So the first judgment starts from page number 1. So I'll select that and click on Get Citation. So what it will do is it will obviously show me the judgment, and what I wanted to show you is in the digest note. If I scroll down and go to this footnote at the bottom where this party name is mentioned, you can see some 6 citations mentioned. These are all equivalent citations. Apart from SCC, you will see criminal law journal, SCC criminal law journal, ECRN, all India case, and AIR 2010. That's how we reached it. So equivalent citations are available, so you can access on that basis. Now coming back to the citation, I also wanted to show you few of the judgments we have, some landmark judgments. We have also incorporated a summary of arguments. So let me just show you one here. 1993 judgment of Supreme Court on Advocates Records Association versus Union of India, with SP Gupta versus Union of India on appointment of judges and transfers and all that regarding judiciary. So this 1993 judgment, as you can see here in the digest notes or the catch notes, what we have here is the article as well as the act, which is hyperlinked. Say suppose if I want to read the article 32 right here from the judgment, I'll click on that hyperlink. It will open article 32 for me, right? So this we have implemented in the digest notes and judgments. Now this is the scheme of the head notes, and it goes down like this, various few hundred pages. So if you see, every small para will have a para number mentioned over here, which is the actual para from the judgment. If I click on this para 433, it will jump to that para in the judgment portion, whereas I am right now in the gist portion or in the head notes or the summary portion. So you get all these para numbers, and followed by that, once these summaries are over, we'll also see this typical highlighted portion also, which denotes the summary of arguments. Now, actual arguments that happened between both parties, those are also available. And then followed by that, you have the judgment. So judgment starts from some 500 odd pages, like 504 from here. So before that, all editorial input you have, right? So let me just move back to the dashboard and show you another option, which is whenever you have to find a case law on, say, a particular section. So you'll click on find case law by section. You'll have to enter your act name here. You should always, start with the main act name. Like if it is penal code, it should be written as Indian Penal Code. It should be written as in Penal Code. If you have Indian Contract Act, you should enter Contract Act, because Indian was common, so it was giving you huge results. So we have just skipped that. So let's suppose, for example, take this one on Contract Act, and let's take this section 17 where the fraud has been defined. I click on Go button, and I'll get to see the case laws on from Supreme Court of India as well as High Court on section 17 of the Contract Act. Now moving back to the dashboard, sometimes you also have more than one section to search for, which is not possible through the find case law by section from the main menu. So in that case, what you can do is you can use the word search. So suppose if I'm looking for Penal Code section 420 as well as Negotiable Instrument Act section 138. So I can key in both the act and section here like this, and in between I'll key in this near operator, which will search for them in nearby region. And I need not worry about the nomenclature of whether it is S.138 or SEC.138 or entire section 138, because when these two are being searched nearby, obviously they are talking to each other. And now I'll click on the start button, and it will give me the results on where both these sections are being discussed. Right. So let's move further now. Within this, let's open up the Supreme Court judgments. And in the Supreme Court judgments now, when I'm seeing, reading this judgment here, what I can do is I can save the judgment, I can mail the judgment, but I can also print it in the form, three different formats are available. One is TruePrint. Now, what is TruePrint? If I remember in the data coverage in the beginning, I told that TruePrint is actually the exact photo copy or photo of picture of the journal in the print form that you have. So it will maintain the same page numbering, same paragraphing. So that is TruePrint for you. And a non-TruePrint is typically a computer generated page. So it will not follow the same format that you had in the original print. Right. So you can see it's ditto 140 page. It starts as you can match it with the original print journal that we have. Non-TruePrint, of course, is the other version. Now you can increase the font or decrease the font for viewing purpose. You can create a link of this document and can share this link with the other associate. Of course, you can also copy the portion of the judgment. Now, let's see in this case, if I want to typically copy these paras, I cannot highlight them and say use the manual Control-C, Control-V option. This has been deactivated because this is a TruePrint judgment, which has the digest notes or head note or catch note embedded in it. So this manual copying is not available in this. So what will we do in that case? We'll use the smart copy option. And how it works, you see there in the third column, this para number 3, adjacent to para number 3, before that, you have this small notepad icon. If you double click on that, it will extract this para number 3 in a new window. From here, I can mail it across to my associate or colleague, or I can copy it and paste it in my draft like editor like Microsoft Word or something. So this is typically one para, but what if I have more than one para? Yes, of course, I can select multiple paras. So in that case, what you will do is instead of double clicking on this notepad icon, you just single click, a green tick will appear. As you can see, I have also selected fourth one and as well as the fifth one. So all these three have a green tick. And after that, I'll use this third icon in the third column known as Smart Copy. Once I click on this, the entire paras which I had selected will get extracted in the new window. They'll have the source, party name, equivalent citation, page number for each and every para. From here, I can use that highlighting and maybe a couple of lines and Control-C, Control-V manually, or maybe in entirety, I want to select them and I can paste it in the draft. I can also mail it across as well. So that is the copy paste feature. Now we also at times when we do our legal research, we have some important, you can say, documents, case laws, as well as articles, maybe some notification also. Different type of documents I have, and I want to put them in a single folder so that it's easy to access next time around. So how to go about that? I can create a new folder over here by using this icon known as Add to my SCC Online folder in the third column. Now, when I click on Add to my SCC Online folder, it will show by default my folder. So I'll click on Change Folder. And after the Change Folder selection, what it shows me is that at the bottom, New Folder. I'll click on that. A new folder will get created. Once the new folder is created, it will prompt me to enter a name. So I'll give the name of your university and press enter. So this folder gets created by the name Osmania University. Then I click on select folder, the adjacent one, and now it's showing me it's being added. This document in the background is being added in the folder by the name Osmania University. Now this folder is created on the cloud, on the server of SCC Online, and can be accessed through on the cloud itself. So you need not worry about the hard disk space getting occupied and all that. So first document has been added here. Let's move to another judgment here, and same way we'll repeat the steps. Here I don't need to change the folder, it's already there. So I'll click on OK, and the second document also gets added into this. And I can move on to the foreign cases. You can see there are foreign cases or maybe any tribunal judgment. So of one on Competition Commission of India. So I can use this, add to my SCC Online folder again and click on the OK button. And then similarly, it will now add the other one. Right. So I can keep on adding. Now, next step is to retrieve them or to view them again. So how can we do that? We'll just on top, you have this dashboard icon. Just into it, there's a icon by the name My SCC Online. You select this My Folders option and click on View Folders. So what it will do is what all folders that I had created will be listed over here. And the last one by the name Most Money University is in front of me. It's selected and all the documents attached to it are being displayed over here. And from here, what I want now is that I want to prepare a case compilation for me. I want to present it maybe in the moot court or maybe later on in my career also will require these case compilations. So how to go about manually? If I do that, it will take me a few hours, maybe a couple of hours, but here it will be a case of a minute or two. So how to go about it? I'll just show you. In the result is there's a checkbox. You just click on that. All the 3 documents get selected. Now adjacent to that result place, there's an icon by the name Action. Just after that, you go to the last option known as Create Case Compilation. Once you click on that, it will show me that save it in the folder, my case compilations with what name. So I'll keep it as it is maybe. And then these are the documents. And they have this citation and all. And what if I want to also, sort them, sort of move one up or down? So I can do that. Once that is done, then you click on this Create Red button on the bottom right. And while we are talking, the software in the background is generating a case compilation for you, which will have 2 sections. One is table of contents and the second one is documents, the actual documents that we have added here in this compilation. So it's ready already. In the third column, you can see the table of contents. And in this, I can input my remarks. Say, for example, I want to focus on or discuss the para number 2 in the first document. So I can just put it as a remark, make it bold, italic, or maybe insert a line, remove a line. All these editing can be done. These tools are available for that. And you can see typically from page number 1 to 14, the first document is there. From 15 till the end of 15, the second document, and from 16 till 20, the third document. Now, once I do the changes, I'll click on this Save Table of Contents icon. The changes get saved permanently. And the last step is now to download these and then take a print. So I'll go to the second column where these download arrows are associated with each of these sections, like your table of contents and the documents. They'll get downloaded into your downloads folders, most probably. And from there, you take a print and it will be the case compilation will be readily available. Now let me move to the second section, that is pages 1 to 20, just to showcase that the pagination has been done automatically by the software. So from page number 1 on right top in square box, you find these page numbers are there. So you don't have to manually input anything like page numbers also typically or something like that. It will run as per the table of contents. So that is the case compilation for you. Let me move back to the dashboard. There is also in my library section, when we started with the browse curated topics. Same way, if I want to see the bare acts, I'll go to this browse acts and rules. Now here I'll get to see the Constitution of India, the central acts, the state acts, the notifications, circulars, etc. Now in the central acts, if I click on the central acts, let me show you, there are these acts are mentioned over here. If I select, say, Contract Act, and as you can see in the bare act, let's say section 4 here, or it is giving me, the commentaries or the most important judgment on, say, forfeiture of earnest money. So where it is being defined in the judgment. So all those important lines defining this forfeiture of earnest money are being kept over here, as well as the citation. From here, I can click on this hyperlink citation. I'll be able to open and view this judgment, read this judgment. Similarly, in conditional offer, sub silentio, offer acceptance, formation of contract, each of these will have a most important citation picked up by us for you. So this has been incorporated in the entire Central Acts, these commentaries and most important citations. Moving back to the dashboard, we also have browse articles. As I told you, this will be from leading publishers like you have the SEC online, Supreme Court cases articles also. So apart from that, I think I'll need to reload it once, maybe. Something, I'll just refresh the page. Okay, so you have these law review journals, then blogs, followed by reports, collected essays, and Tagore law lectures. Entire series of Tagore law lectures you will find from 1870 till 1942. Then we also have this, as I told you, law review journals from leading, universities or institutions. Or if you have a topic you were searching for or reading, like I was reading recently hate speech. So I'll just use this filter and it'll filter out from the entire series. So I have a legal law journal or one article here on hate speech. Same way we have administrative law quarterly and NUJS, etc. So these are all available in the articles section. Then we also have the secondary material. In the secondary material, you have bills in parliament, both introduced as well as passed in both the houses. Then we have constitutional documents, which also cover the entire Constituent Assembly debates from volume 1 to 12. You can read that. Then we have the historical trials, as I told you, the entire series of Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Sir Roger Casement, as well as Maharaja Nanda. We have policy documents and reports of various commissions and committees, which includes the Law Commission reports, pre-independence as well as the current ones. So those are all available in the secondary material. Treaties, as I told you, multilateral, trilateral, bilateral, and multilateral treaties. They are also available in the browse treaties section. And moot court resources, as I was talking in the beginning, will help you in your preparation of moot courts. So if I'm taking this, say for example, MIT's 11th moot court competition. So in this, what you'll get to see the problem as well as the winner team and appellant team. Appellant as well as respondent. What all, how they discuss this and what was the proposition over here. So this will definitely help you in your moot court preparation. And of course, typically I told you the third section as it is giving access to various links to external websites. In this, there is a microblogging site by the name SCC Online Blog, where you get the latest news from the legal arena. You get also the case briefs from Supreme Court, High Court, tribunals. Now, what all these are basically they are very recent judgments for which our editorial has just prepared the case brief, but they are yet to be published. So let's say Supreme Court here, select Supreme Court and let's see what is available in the case briefs. You can see over here an April 4 case brief is available on whether pre-FIR inquiry is permissible against public servant in corruption matters. So when I click on this, it will be drafted by our editorial. So it will have a very self-explanatory. I mean, it will start with background and all, right? And if you will see also these highlighted lines, these are actually lines from the judgment itself. Then we have prepared this background of the case, then whether such an inquiry at pre-FIR stage would be legal and to what extent. And followed by that, you'll find the citation references. And if you click on these citations, it will open up in your SCC online software, all these judgments. And then finally, you have the conclusion. And it will also show you the party name and the civil criminal appeal number and decided on so and so date. So you get to see these case briefs. Apart from that, you have also the editorial opinions on the topics of law, and they are frequently updated. Then we have news related to events, webinars, appointments, transfers, all that is available under the news section. And We also have the legislation section. In the legislation section, you have this, notifications, circulars, amendments to existing laws, cabinet decisions, rules, regulations, all these are available under this blog, SCC Online blog, and it's a free access website. So you need not go through the login. You can straight away use the blog link, which is in the home page of SCC Online. When you open up the home page, you see this blog. So if you click on the blog, it will straight away open that for you. Not only that, you also have the help section available here. That is in the form of this question mark. When you click on this view user manual, it will open up a new window where you can enter your query. Otherwise, some few of them are available over here, like how to use the case compilation or how to use the OR operator. Okay, maybe how to smart copy. So they are there. So, but if I want to know more about this my SCC Online folder or the case compilation feature, so I can just simply type in over here and click on this title. It will now show me the example. So this way you can use the help also. I think I have covered all the features, and now I think I'm open to the question and answers if you have any. You can just unmute, any participant can unmute and ask.
Sir, this is Mohammed here.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You showed me how to make compilation of several documents and save it in a folder, and then we can download it. Without saving it in a folder, can we download the documents directly in any format like PDF?
Yes, we can. As you can see, this particular document which is present in right now on the screen, which is being reflected on the screen. If I go to this, I use this save button. In the second column, you see this save button. When I click on the save button, it will automatically generate a PDF and download it in your downloads folder. So that is possible for each and every document that you have, whether it's an article or a judgment.
Okay, it's already downloaded. We don't.
Yes, you don't need to compile. Compilation is all helpful where you have multiple documents.
Yes.
Multiple documents, and you want to give them a pagination in continuation along with the titles and all in the table of contents, then it will be useful. For individually, if you want to save these documents, then you can use the save button associated with each and every document.
Thank you.
Welcome.
One more question, Rana sir.
Yes, sir.
As a beginner, total beginner to this, we are freshers, and to analyze a civil case, we will need to find facts and issues that are being discussed, and there are so many hundreds of pages of judgments, copies, and arguments between counsels. How to streamline that? Can you guide us in that? How to streamline the search of facts and issues to be discussed in any citation-based case?
Yes, if we are talking about any of these matters that we have, the best part in SCC is that you, by default, it will show you, let's say, we're talking about, say, what it will do is it will give me first the digest notes. It will give me the gist part or the summary. As you can see here, in this case, as just only trying to see the cases on patents. So it is giving me results like digest notes, you can see. So in the digest notes, again, if I expand, it's showing me Supreme Court so many. When I click on this Supreme Court only, now here it will be very easy for me to like one on section 25 scope and applicability, whether this will be part of what I am looking for, or maybe the other one which is talking about, say, section 78 and 21 transitional provision. So basically what I want to tell you is that whenever you are doing any legal research, first, by default also it is set, first thing we should do is we should always read the summary or the gist part. And the best part is, once you know that this particular law point is of relevance, or it is what I am looking for, in the footnote you will find the citation where you can read the entire judgment. So from the digest note, you can then switch to the full text judgment and go to the further details. Otherwise, if it is like this particular law point is not relevant to you, you can skip it and move to the next one, which will save a lot of time for you.
Okay. So the digest notes will have a summarized collection of the judgments. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. So if any further query from any participant, he can just unmute, or if there is, you can put it on also on the in the chat also. If you,
I believe there is a chat.
Yeah. I'll just have a look. Yeah, or you can read out if you can. Yeah, it is there. We're not having us now. Is there any provision like? Yes, Mr. Bhargav. We do have remote access. I think Achla ma'am might be able to answer that, wherein if you have a remote access feature available in your university, then you can typically use that and access it from there.
Yes.
Otherwise, yes, you already have.
I would like to add a little over here.
Yes,
remote access is a software that is REMOTE and X and S alphabets. So it's called remote access. This software we need to buy for a certain amount. So the university is looking into it, and the university librarian has extended for a few people to check whether this software is going to work. It's on trial basis as of right now. But hopefully soon, Osmania University will be able to buy the software and extend to all our faculty and students. Till then, you can probably contact the university librarian in charge, Dr. Pawan Kumar, to explore this further, because it's on the trial basis. Thank you. I hope I answered your question. If anyone else would like to ask any questions, may do so to Mr. Rajesh Ran.
Yes, Mr. Rana, there is one more question.
Yes.
Please explain the and the near operator search feature.
Okay, sure. The near operator, as I told in the previous example, is like when you have a descriptive kind of a query where you have to search for an entire sentence. So in that case, what typically happens, those common English words we need to avoid, like of, the, and. So these are the ones which we should avoid because they are so repetitively mentioned in the judgments. We should focus on the main keywords. That's where the near operator, that's how the near operator is useful. So I had given one example over there where about that I cannot define an elephant, but I do recognize one when I see one side, that kind of a descriptive query you have. Recently, there was another judgment delivered in Supreme Court, which was typically on this short service commission to permanent commissioning of women forces in the Air Force or something like that. So for that, again, there was this typical query was there. So I'll just show you another one. Like let's take another example of, say, banana plant is not a tree. So what I'll do is I'll just key in banana plant is not a tree. On land acquisition this was. Again, what I'll do is I'll key remove no not, and rest I can use like this, right? Even I can use maybe a couple of them. Banana plant near tree, something like that. So I have removed or left out the typical ones like and, off, and and then I'll start the search. So what it will do is it will search for these 2 or 3 words in a range of 10 words. Or you can say it's like a proximity search or searching within a sentence. And as you can see here, it is mentioned over here about this land acquisition case where the meaning of banana is being defined as not as a plant, whether it's a plant, orchard, a plant, or a fruit tree. That was the question what was there to be discussed about. So this is the near operator which is being used over here typically. And you had also talked about the and operator. Now and means it will search for both the words necessarily. So in that case, and can be used. But if say, for example, I was talking about those type of employees, say temporary and casual and say ad hoc, right? So these different positions that we have over here. In between, I had used the or operator, which is either of the two. But instead, if I had keyed in and, would mean that all these 3 should be appearing in the same document. So even if I don't use the and operator and just put 1 space in between, it is equivalent to and. Right. So this way it will give me all the 3 in a single document where all the 3 are being mentioned. You can see this digest note here where temporary, casual, and ad hoc is mentioned over here. So I hope that answers your query.
Sir, this is for free, sir, or we should pay money, sir, for this website?
This is already paid by the university. It's accessible to you free of cost.
Okay.
Thank you. So any other query we have? If any of the participant has any query, they can just unmute and ask.
Some participant had a registration issue in the beginning. Can
Okay,
that
sir.
be taken care?
Yes, yes, we can take that. Sure. I remember, I'm not remembering the name. So in the beginning, one student was saying that she was not able to, access it.
Yes, sir. Actually, I wasn't within
Yes,
I wasn't within the campus, so I was trying to ask the same thing if there is any VPN access. My doubt is clear. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So can we get a recording of this video?
Sure, sir. Maybe by tomorrow I'll share it with Achana ma'am, and definitely you'll all be able to access it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
if you go to the website also, SSC Online website, all the training is also available. Previous training.
Okay.
Raina, can you please brief that?
Yes, I'll just repeat it once. Yeah, we have this help center over here in the form of this question mark. You go to this view user manual option and it'll open that query center. In the help center, what you can do is typically you can simply key in webinar. So what will happen, all these 7-8 topics that you can see is they're all available on our YouTube channel. Say, for example, in this case, this advanced search and search results screen I want to know more about. So I'll just click on that and it will show me the link. The link is given at the bottom. And once you click on this, it will take you to the YouTube channel and you can watch it.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Also brief about the toll-free number and the email ID and the how to get access.
Yes, I think we'll just share our email ID and contact numbers. As far as the toll-free number is also concerned, I'll also show you one more thing in this. That is, we have this newsletter subscription in the homepage before login. If you scroll down to the bottom, there is toll-free number also mentioned, of course. You'll get to see this newsletter subscription. In the
SCC तो अब इन्हें जो है
So kindly unmute, sorry, mute once because it's I'm unable to showcase this newsletter subscription. In the newsletter subscription, when you enter your email ID and click on the subscribe now, what will happen that every week in your mailbox, you will receive all that I have shown you in the blog, whether it's a craze brief or any notification, circular amendment, etc. will be just simply mailed to you in your mailbox. And of course, we have a toll-free number also, 1800256310. It's available from Monday through Saturday, 9:30 till 7 p.m. And I think we'll also share our email ID. Okay, that's already being shared by Mohit. Thank you, Mohit. So these are all various modes with which you can, reach us, whether by a phone call or a mail. We are available there.
I guess, Randy, we can end the session now.
Okay, with the honorable principal and the respective department heads and faculty and Achla ma'am, shall we now conclude the session?
Mr. Raina, before we close, I would just like to do a vote of thanks kind of a thing. So I hope all the participants have asked your queries and you have benefited from joining today's session. In case you have further doubts or queries, you can always check the help section of SCC Online. And of course, there's today's recording of the session, which you can refer to. And if need be, if any of you really feel that a follow-up session is needed, we can conduct that too after a small break so that we can collect all the queries and then put a follow-up session request to Mr. Raina, who can take it up with us. So before we close, I would like to thank the principal, the dean, the vice principal, the head of the department, who have always encouraged and support the library staff to extend the webinars and information sessions, which we hope we'll be conducting throughout the year. I would also like to thank all the faculty and students, excuse me, of University College of Law, Osmania University, who have joined today's session. And of course, our wonderful trainer, Mr. Rajesh Raina, who has explained the SCC Online in detail. Thank you one and all for joining our session today.
Thank you, Asla ma'am, and thank you all the.
Thank you,
yes, ma'am. I'll just stop.
Have a good day, all of you.
Thank you. I'll just stop.